Today we have a very special video. I am going to be receiving another package in a few hours, and that is on its way. So before it arrives, we have to set up a new enclosure. So right here, since drilling takes a while, this old pork rind container, it's kind of small. And this is going to be the enclosure for what I am receiving right here. We drilled holes in, now we still have to add in all the substrate and stuff and get it set up for them. And that's pretty much all I do for my substrate mixes. It's kind of just the baseline for my substrate setup. Now we have gotten it nice and hydrated. As you can see, it's not too moist, but just enough, and it is really thick substrate. So now what I'll be working on next is getting the surface layer. I'm gonna add a little layer of sphagnum moss, and this will be for the roaches to run through and whatnot, and also help retain a little bit of moisture. What I really like about this sleeve is that it can be used really welly as a hide. I don't know if welly is a word, but it should work really well. And just bury down the substrate or something. Next up, I'll be taking this Indian almond leaf that I have from Josh's Frogs. I used to have a ton of these things, but I've been using them quite oftenly, and we're just going to be adding this in their hole. So now we're just going to add a nice thick layer of leaves here for them. Add in a nice amount. And also what I just did is I left a little space open for where I can put their apples, carrots, or any of their other food sources that I put in there. I can see in there I added their pieces of wood. And then just for one final piece, I'm gonna be adding this piece right up here. I wanna go behind it. And then really quick on the more humid side, I'm just gonna add in a little bit of a mist, and then we're done. All right, so now that we have the package open, just open it up here and make sure they're all here and alive. Packed in here securely, and the roaches seem to be here. There's also something else in the box, which is something else that is a little special, which I will show you guys. So first, we'll leave the roaches last, but right here was just something that got thrown into it. These small species of millipede that he had. So these guys are actually really, really tiny, and you can actually see one crawling around right there. There's also another one that seemed to have passed away. These guys are really tiny. I'll have to take a closer look to see what these guys actually are. So here's how to show you just how tiny this millipede species is. And I'll have to take a look, like I said, to see what species is, but they seem to be really small. Let's get to the thing that we were really waiting for. These guys are new ones, and these are the Kodokinabulu SP, and their original name was Borneo leaf mimic roaches. You know, these guys were originally called Borneo leaf mimics, as I said, but they were later discovered to be Malaysia, and now they're just Kodokinabulu Olymphinae SP. So they don't know what species yet, but this is what they look like. So let's open this up. And here's them without the lid on. As you can see, they look really beautiful. And the nymphs look also really, really awesome. Some of them are more darker and some of them are lighter colors like that. And the adults look really awesome. We put them in the ring light here. They look really cool. So here we go. We have all the nymphs and little nymphs right here. As you can see, they have kind of little wings and they look really cool. And then what I counted out so far is just the 3 adults and this tall one, so they can't climb out. And I just counted out my count, which added up to 20. So they are all alive and well, doing really nicely. So what's really cool about these guys is that they have 3 little spines right near their pronotum, and the other parts, which I have over time I've forgotten the name of, but they have these 3 little spines right there. Now these guys are not sharp, they're just 3 little spines there, which is really cool to their morphology. Out of all the roaches I've gotten so far and have kept before, these guys are definitely some of the coolest and prettiest ones. Alright everyone, so now that the roaches have arrived, I'm just going to be adding in a few of their leaves that came with them just to make them, and then we'll be adding these guys in. See, there's an adult right there. We'll just put in this first adult right here. Add him onto the bark or something. So that other adult is right here, and we'll throw him in. And just gently tap in all the nymphs. So far, even after just a few seconds, these guys are already exploring a ton of their enclosure, and they seem to be a little bit more active than earlier, so it seems like they're warming up. As you can see, there's actually one right here trying to blend in. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I really hoped you guys liked the setup of this enclosure and the unboxing. So far, just getting these guys, I'm really enjoying this species. And these guys should do pretty well. They like tons of leaf litter and a little bit of humidity and a little bit of dryness. But they should do really well, and I came with a starter colony of 20, so that should also boost my rates of this doing well. So yeah, guys, this was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed.